welcome to the Roundtable, already in progress. Templar, tell me what you were just telling me about the Super Bowl.
I didn't watch it.
And why didn't you watch it?
Just didn't care.
Okay, I think that's the prevailing. By the way, welcome to Sports Talk with Sports Guy 1 and Sports Guy 2. I think it's funny. I saw a graphic. 123 million people watched the Super Bowl. It's a lot of people. It's a third of the United States. That's worldwide. 750 million people earlier that day watched Liverpool versus Manchester City. 750 million people. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's levels to this, and the NFL is not at the top of those levels.
No. And so for the people out here, especially the United States sports media, thinking that the NFL is the end-all be-all and it's the sport that's going to take over, I'm so sorry. I hate to tell you this, but it's just not.
It might grow internationally. They're certainly trying, but it's not going to take over anything. No.
Can you? And like, I'm here to tell you, I really like the NFL, but I like soccer too, and I can see why there's a global appeal to soccer. I really can. It's easy to play.
Football?
Football. Football. Yeah. It's easier to play. You need less. It's way less dangerous. Like overall, I mean, yeah, sure, there's head injuries and stuff, but it's way less dangerous. Yeah. And you don't necessarily have to.
Well, it's not really a contact sport unless the Netherlands are playing Spain.
And then there's just spikes. It is too a contact sport. I mean, you will see some gnarly hits, but
I know. I just shout out the 2010 World Cup
and him lifting up his shirt and showing the spike marks on his chest. I remember I posted at that point.
It was a wild game.
It was an awesome game. I remember posting, and it'll still pop up on my Facebook or my time hop, but I said something to the effect of, "Oh, I guess we're just playing hockey now." It's like, yeah, during that game, we're just playing hockey now. That was a great game. Anyway, welcome to kind of our NFL wrap up. We told you at the beginning, we kind of did a series of the beginning of the season, the 2025 NFL season. We did a series of kind of like, hey, here's the Lions, yada, yada, yada. We introed the Lions. We talked about the NFL for a little bit. We did maybe a halfway point. Maybe it was a quarter-way point.
Yeah, we did one check-in, I think. Yeah. One or two check-ins, and then... yeah, we kind of put it on hold. Yeah, and here we are today. We wanted to do an NFL wrap-up, and this is going to be the hottest of hot takes that we have, along with, I think, just some... We wanted to talk the Detroit Lions because one of my hot takes has to do with the Detroit Lions, and I don't necessarily know... Well, I don't know. Let's just get there. So I kind of wanted to start in this fashion. Let's just talk general NFL. We can talk Super Bowl, whatever. Templar, I'm sure you have a series of a couple of hot takes. But I want to start with one of mine. Okay. And I just want to get your reaction here. We're just going to, this is going to be for flavor, the top plays of the NFL season for flavor. Go watch it. Okay. It's on NFL.com. It's really good. My very first one is that Patrick Mahomes is overrated. And here's why. I know he got his contract. He's got a 10-year contract. I know he's like a wonder boy and all that other stuff, but his team wasn't necessarily that bad this year. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. He's had worse, or he's had like worse teams and done more with. And yeah, granted, okay, he tore his ACL. Like that sucks. And I don't want him to have a torn ACL. And next year is going to be very telling for how he did. But like this year, he kind of proved that he's marginally overrated. Your thoughts? I think calling him overrated is probably fair because people have him in like the Tom Brady conversation already.
Yes.
So like in that sense, probably because people already have him in like the top 3 all time, maybe. So like, is that premature? And is he overrated if you're putting him in the top 3? Almost certainly, I think. In terms of like, but I mean, with the pace he was on, and I mean, still is on to some extent, like you have to think if it goes, even if they win, 1 or 2 more, I would say only that'd be 5. I mean, that's going to put him pretty high up there in that conversation, right? So like, if you want to say it's too much in terms of where he is now. And it's kind of the Brady argument from early in his career, right? Like when those first couple Super Bowl wins, like they had really excellent defenses and the Chiefs have also had really excellent defenses. So that goes back to that same idea of, how much credit are you going to give to this side versus that side versus like being on a great team versus being a great player? Like, how great are Jerry Rice and Joe Montana independently of each other?
Sure.
Like, how great are, like, there's always those kinds of discussions that's impossible to know. This is why they happen endlessly. So I think it's fair to say he's probably been somewhat overrated because he's already in the GOAT conversation, which is probably premature.
Yeah, and I probably should have qualified it by saying he is overrated in terms of he's one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. I don't think he's there yet. People are already putting him in the GOAT conversation of it's him, it's Tom Brady, it's Joe Montana, and it's Peyton Manning. I don't know. I don't even think Peyton comes up to that level. So I just can't put him there yet. I don't know. It'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see next year what actually happens if the Chiefs can get actually a better offense. Their defense wasn't bad. If they can get a better offense, if they can, if Travis Kelce, if and when he retires, like who can they replace him with? All those things. How does his knee actually hold up? Does Pat Mahomes now need to start being a little bit less mobile of a quarterback? And if so, what does that lead him to do? All of those things. So that was my kind of first hot take. What about you, Mr. Templar?
I don't know how hot of a take it is. But my hot take is related to the Super Bowl and this that the Patriots are like an okay team and they probably had no real business being in the Super Bowl. And I think any Super Bowl team of the last 5 years, both winner and loser, would have beat them easily.
Sure.
And this was maybe one of the easiest roads to the Super Bowl in recent memory. Like, I didn't go back and look at every year and every single game. So if there was some easier one, then fair enough. But I just think the Patriots were pretty overrated. And I just don't, anything can happen in one game. So you can't say they didn't have a chance in this, but they probably had no business being in the Super Bowl, really.
Yeah.
I think they're fine, a good team. But I sent you something, you can bring it up, which kind of serves this point, which is that 11 out of their 17 games were against teams who ended up firing their head coach. Now that's, somewhat inflated because the Bills are on there twice, sure. Teams that you play twice get represented there. The Dolphins are there twice, right? So, but that's 4 out of 11. So there's still 11 other or 7 other games where they were against the team who fired their head coach. So do you have to win the games are in front of you? Yes. You don't create your own schedule and you don't always play the difficult teams, but and maybe this isn't a hot take. Maybe this is a cold take at this point with how they played in the Super Bowl. Maybe this is a cold take that they really had no business being there in the first place. But they played one difficult game maybe in the playoffs.
That's
in the
no
first
game.
round, in the first round, they played the Chargers, who didn't have an offensive line. I could have started at offensive line for them. The second round, they played the Texans, genuinely good game.
Yep.
Although, they played a genuinely good game. Although, again, 4 interceptions or something from the defense. So and defense is part of it. So, but that's maybe a bit of a criticism on the offense. And Texans quarterback CJ Stroud had an awful game, just an absolutely horrendous game. So again, going up against a good defense, but they played well that game. And then you played Denver, who are without their starting quarterback, and you beat them by 3. You beat them 10-7, a team without their starting quarterback. It's this team just this is the most fortuitous route to a Super Bowl I think I've seen in recent memory. So again, you tell me, is this a cold take? Maybe this is a cold take.
I have a flip side to that take, and it is that the Patriots are going to be dangerous in 2 years. I think not this next year, but I think the year after. I'm not a particularly big Patriots fan. I am a Tom Brady fan. I hate that I like Tom Brady. He's a Michigan guy. I'm a Michigan guy. We've talked about this on the show before. Yep. I do think he's the greatest quarterback of all time, hands down. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sure. I tolerated the Patriots. I don't like the Patriot way. I didn't really like Bill Belichick, all those things. That being said, I do like Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel has that Dan Campbell thing to him, that he's just a no-nonsense, just chewing off at the kneecaps type of thing. And I really do think Drake May is good. You could definitely tell something was wrong. He was scared I don't know how many of the highlights you watch, but Witherspoon came in on that same blitz. It felt like 15 times from the left-hand side. Drake May could not do anything. And that's on Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. That's on, offensive line coaches and all that. But also, like, they had 2 rookies on the left side. Like, what are you doing? You've got two rookies over there trying to protect also a second-year quarterback. Like, he's gonna die. And also his arm was hurt and he had to get shot up just to even play in the game. Like, I think Drake May is a really good quarterback. And so you label all those things together. Also, Stephon Diggs, like, pick up a white courtesy phone. Where are you? Like, why did you just not show up? So I don't know. You give them a running back. You give that offensive line another year or two. I really think they're going to be dangerous because, like, the defense, Seattle's got historically one of the best defenses ever, and the Patriots defense was in lockstep with them. Like, shut down everybody except, I mean, really, Kenneth Walker Jr. the third. Like, maybe he won the MVP, but, like, shut them down. And it was a good, very good defensive performance. They fell off in the fourth quarter because that's what happens, right? Like, champion teams are going to find a way to go around you. That's just how it works. That being said, I give them 2 years. I think they're going to be back to being the AFC powerhouse, and that's scary for me.
Is this the Lions 23 season for the Patriots?
Bro,
was this their opportunity that they missed? And they're not going to get back.
No, they're going to get back. Everyone's like, well, you just never know if you're going to get back. Come on, the Patriots are too good of an organization to let success like this go by the wayside. Even if it takes 5 years or whatever it's going to be, they're not just going to camp on this. Like, historically, they're one of those organizations. You don't just win 6 Super Bowls in 20 years on accident. Like, you have to plan for that. So I don't know. I think you give them 2 years. They were a little ahead of schedule, as everybody's been saying. That's not a hot take. The hot take is it's not going to be next year. It's going to be the year after. That's the hot take. What about you? What's your next hot take here?
I don't know how many other hot takes I have. The AFC is bad. Like, the AFC, like, that's not a hot take though. Nope. Like, in terms of just takeaways from the season, like, the AFC, which was considered the strongest, like, much stronger conference than the NFC,
they were bad.
Is not, like, and this might have just been a weird year. I mean, Mahomes, like, injury, Chiefs aren't very good, Ravens aren't very good. Weirdly, it doesn't matter how talented that team is, they just can't win seemingly, which is very strange. Like, the other playoff teams, just like Denver, like, this was Denver's year in the AFC, and then Bo Nix just gets hurt, and then
which sucks, man. That sucks for Bo Nix. It really does.
It does. I was cheering for Denver. I had no real investment in this playoffs. Like, I didn't really care regardless of who won.
No.
But I was kind of pulling for Denver. I think that'd be cool, and the Chargers, because, like, the Chargers are just one of those teams that's been, like, pretty good for, like, long stretches, but just has never kind of gotten over the hump. So, just the AFC, weird year. The NFC was, I think, much, much stronger. Seahawks, I mean, the Seahawks are legit Super Bowl winners. Sam Darnold, Vikings fans must be, like, absolutely just, like, apoplectic now.
I wanted to say something about Sam Darnold too. Number one, I have seen him being compared, and maybe this is just like one post, but in my head, somebody compared this one to the Baltimore Ravens winning with Trent Dilfer. And I have to categorically say that Sam Darnold is not Trent Dilfer. Sam Darnold is a way better quarterback than Trent. I lived with Trent Dilfer down here in Tampa for years, and I saw how bad he was. He's just awful. He was a statue. Sam Darnold is actually a decent quarterback. And so there's that. Vikings fans just crying in their Cheerios. But did the Jets get to claim some of the Super Bowl? Because they don't have anything else to hang their hat on. So, like, do the Jets get like a quarter of a Super Bowl T-shirt because they drafted him?
I don't think so. It's not a Lions Stafford situation. With Lions Stafford, when the Rams won, I think you could be like, he was underappreciated here. The team just never did enough for him. Whatever. He went and won. With the Jets, it's just like, he was just awful. Like, he was bad there. They didn't help him at all. But, like, he wasn't underappreciated there. He was just awful there. And again, you can blame the Jets if you want, but he was bad for a while after that too. It wasn't just with the Jets. I mean, it was really just took the Vikings to turn things around for him. randomly, and then shout out Seattle. I mean, and they've got a great team around him, but that's fine. Frank, it's good.
Yeah.
He's not like Sam Darnold shouldn't be in like a top quarterback conversation because of this. Because like you have an incredible defense, you have a great running game, you have great offensive weapons. It's like a Goff sort of situation, except without the defense.
Yeah, I believe
like
that.
You surround like a good quarterback with excellent weapons and give them a ton of help, and then hey man. So shout out Sam Darnold. Do you have other hot takes? That's just takeaways.
I had this another takeaway is that Geno Smith died so that the Seahawks could live. Geno Smith gave up his livelihood to go to the Raiders. And
is that just the Raiders being weird and like Pete Carroll being like whatever now? Like, is that what that is? Or is Geno Smith really just because he had a good year with Seattle? Like maybe I guess it's just the situation in Seattle is a good one that quarterbacks can thrive in, and then leaving, I don't know, tough.
Yeah. A couple other little ones. Number one, the Bears are going to be a threat. Give them a year or two. I think they started to turn it on towards the end of the year, but the Bears they're going to be decent. And also the Micah Parsons trade turned out to be a wet fart. Everybody was kind of just up in arms over it.
They started hot. But then,
they started hot even before he blew out his knee, his ACL, MCL, PCL, one of the CLs. It kind of wasn't doing it. And actually, I think Dallas did better with that trade and what they're going to get from it than people are going to give them credit for. Not that I would ever say Jerry Jones knew what he was doing, because he has no clue.
I was going to say that's bad. I think that's probably worse long term for Dallas because, well, maybe it doesn't matter. I was going to say it's maybe worse long term because this would encourage Jerry more, but Jerry has no self-reflection. He has no self-reflection anyway. So like, it actually won't change anything, because even if this ended up being like the worst trade in the history of the NFL, Jerry has no self-reflection, so it doesn't matter at all. It probably wouldn't even shake his confidence the tiniest bit if it ended up being awful.
Sure.
So never mind. It won't matter. The fact that it worked out is unfortunate though, because it might embolden him to do more stuff. He tore his ACL, so yeah.
ACL. Okay. And I think the last one, and this can be, I want to segue a little bit. Do you have any more observations, any hot takes, anything like that?
I don't know if I have more hot takes. I mean, maybe I have some Lions takes that we can get into when we transfer into that specifically. But
let's move to that, because my hottest take, and this is the one that pains me to say, I think the Lions are done.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. So tell me why they're not, and then let's talk about it.
I mean, I don't think they're done. I think their issues this year were largely just the offensive line, which I think is fairly, I won't say easily remedied. Like, the primary issue with this team this year was the interior of the offensive line. Like, that was by and large the issue. Like, Goff actually had a pretty good year, like all things considered, really. But when you're giving up consistent interior pressure and your center doesn't seem to know what he's doing, it's just going to be tough for you. Like, you're not going to run the ball as well, which they didn't. Like, there had games where they ran the ball well, but teams that could apply pressure in the middle, they struggled against greatly. And I think it comes down to two very young guards and a center who, hey, like, shout out Graham Glasgow. Nothing, no hate, but like, just not the guy. Very clearly not the guy at center. Certainly not at this point in his career. So like, I think that was the heart of their problem. Did they have other issues? Sure, but like, if Ragnow, I think, had been able to come back and hadn't had that issue in his physical, like when he tried to, I think they definitely make the playoffs.
See, that's a take I guess I hadn't thought of. The defense was struggling this year, and that might have been Ben Johnson leaving.
Shepard.
Yeah, and that could have just been that could have been just a year, right? And yes, there were injuries, although they had arguably more injuries last year, and they did better. I don't know, something felt off about the Lions, even from the get-go. And we kind of talked about it even in our very early breakdowns. Like, something just doesn't feel right. Is it a team makeup? Is it because I maintain that it's because they lost both coordinators, and that's tough. Like, you are essentially restarting a whole new. Not only you're losing coordinators, but you're losing their staff. If they are, even if it's just admin staff, like they brought staff with them, those staff and other people are getting hired away from your organizations into the organizations that your coordinators are now heading up. One of the coordinators did a lot better than the others, but okay, let's just leave that there. I think that's tough, and also like, is the Dan Campbell thing gonna work another year? Because towards the end of the season, everything that I was reading and everything that I was able to watch, again, I'm in Tampa, so I get what I get down here, but everything I was seeing and watching was like, man, he's kind of it's like not like the ethos is not working. Like, we don't need to go for it on fourth down all the time, and we don't need to do this. And like there started to be a bit of a pushback, and I wonder if we're past that era. And this is me being a struggling Lions fan. I'm 42 years old, so I've been a Lions fan for 38 years, as long as I can remember thinking. And I feel like, oh crap, we're back to being paper bags on our heads like the Browns. Like this is where we're at.
Yeah, see that attitude I don't understand. Like, I don't want to be like they didn't win 3 games. They were half a game away from being in the playoffs.
They hurt me too much, man. I've been hurt too much.
Like the Packers were half a game ahead, because like if the Lions had ended the season with 10 wins, if they had one more win, they would have made the playoffs. Like the Packers made it with 9 wins, and because they had a draw, they made it. Like, so is it a disappointing season? Sure. Is the sky falling? No, yes. I don't think so.
Yes, it is.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
Always
I don't
falling.
think the sky's falling. I think part of the issue going down was like, you just don't want Dan Campbell calling plays. And that's not necessarily an indictment of his play calling, which I think you can criticize, but you just want him to be the guy. Like, you want him to be Dan Campbell, the head coach, the like motivational leader guy. You don't want him being distracted with other stuff. You want, like, he needs to be the leader, and then CEO. You want someone who's the play caller. Yeah, he's the CEO. You don't want him getting distracted with other stuff. And like, I don't necessarily like, was the morale great on the team? They were probably frustrated. I'm sure they were, but like, I think there's enough core guys that they'll be fine. It's just a matter of, they were going for 4th downs, I think, in 21. Like, I feel like they've been doing that since Campbell was there. Like, even when they were not, even when they won 3 games. So like, the idea of, is that done? No, almost certainly not. That's just part of Dan Campbell's thing. So like, for better and for worse, because it's both, that's just going to be a thing. And when your offense just isn't very good, you're just going to fail on more of those, or like isn't as good, I should say. You're just going to fail on more of those, and it's going to look worse. If you make most of them, then there's criticism, but like, it's like, well, it works most of the time. And I didn't look at what their conversion rate on 4th down this year was, but if it was worse, which I assume it was, you're just going to get more criticism. Makes sense. Like, that's why people endlessly like won't shut up about that San Francisco game. That people keep wanting to blame the 4th down play calling for that loss instead of all the mistakes guys made.
Right.
Like, if you don't make them, then you're going to get the criticism. Like, that's the whole thing. If you gamble and you lose, then you get the criticism for that. If you gamble and you win, then you get the pat on the back. Like, was something stupid or courageous? Like, well, how did it go? Like, how did it end up? Right. So I don't think the sky is falling. I think bigger issues is one, Brad Holmes. I think I like him a lot. I just think he needs to shift away from this idea of taking flyers on sort of experimental guys, or like upside guys, like betting too much on upside. Especially in the later rounds, because like, one thing that the Rams have done, speaking of the Rams being on screen here, is like, they didn't have a 1st round pick for an eternity.
Yeah.
Yet they've managed to build a good team because they just hit on a bunch of later picks. And in the first couple years of his drafts, he did that. But in like the late 23, and then like basically everything out of the 1st round since then has just not been great for Brad Holmes. And like, there's been too many guys that he just kind of took risks on. You had your Tesla one this year, which, I think he'll be better. Like, I think he'll continue to grow. I think he'll have a role, but like, it's just, why are you giving up 3 third round picks for Isaac Tesla? Like, this team is expensive. You can't keep taking these risks on guys like Giovanni Manu, like out of British Columbia in like the 3rd or 4th round. Like, yeah, if you hit on that and you get a Jordan Mailata, that's great. But like, you're giving up a decent amount to get this guy. And you're just like, I know you like these players, but like, I think at some point, Brad needs to be like, nobody else wants this guy. Why am I giving up? And I know with Tesla, apparently they were in a bidding war with the Rams. So I guess someone did want him. But like, people, like, no one was going to draft Broderick Martin anywhere near where he drafted Broderick Martin.
No.
Like, and if he had worked out as like a DJ Reader type and big nose tackle, it would have been fine, but he didn't. And so, like, again, when you gamble and you lose, you're going to get more criticism. So, like, I still believe in Holmes because I think he's grabbed a lot of great players. It just feels like he's reached on guys that have been, and in some cases, it's just like Ennis Rakestraw. It's like, I think they believed in him and he just hasn't been able to shake the injury thing. Do I put that on Brad Holmes? Not really. Like, so some of them I think now haven't necessarily been his fault, but I think he just needs to draft fewer projects. Like, it's just not it. You know, you need more surety, and I think they just need to stop trading away so many picks also for these guys. So I'd lay maybe more blame there. I'm not one of the Lions fans shrieking into the clouds about an edge rusher, but like I think that's an issue with drafts that we've seen, and like, I think we're going to wish that we had those 3rd round picks this year that you gave up for Isaac Tesla. And like, this team has just become increasingly expensive. Like, you got to make it work somehow with contracts. And to do that, you have to be able to draft guys who are cheaper. Like, you can't pay people endlessly. So I don't know. But no, I don't think the sky is falling. I don't know about this new offensive coordinator they hired. I guess they're rolling with Kelvin Shepard for another year, or at least they haven't signaled anything yet, which, you know, fair enough. I think they give him an opportunity to grow. If it's iffy this season, I think that's it for him. That could be like even a mid-season. They maybe get rid of him if it's not going well. So we'll see, but I don't think the sky is falling with the Lions. All that to say.
Would it be a hot take to say that they need somebody like Tyreek Hill on their offense? Because I did see that thrown around.
I absolutely do not want Tyreek Hill on the Detroit Lions. I mean,
I laugh. It had to be a bot or a troll or something. Just, it was like it felt like one of those random name generators to insert person to insert team.
I mean, you have Jameson Williams isn't Tyreek Hill, but like, no. He's not what Tyreek Hill was, at least anyway. There's no indication that Tyreek Hill will be what he was.
No.
He's a speed player who has had a brutal knee injury. Like, how will Tyreek Hill even come back? And like, he's in his early 30s at this point. Like, no. And he's this locker room, very toxic in the locker room. He's just not someone you want. Like, could the Lions weather that? Sure. But there's also that's just like one of those things that people say maybe as rage bait or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because the Lions people will suggest the Lions should go after certain players. And it's like, you really don't know anything about the Lions, eh? Like, character is very important. Like, they wouldn't touch Tyreek with like a 10-foot pole. Like, no. I'm sorry.
No.
People talking about like, oh, the Lions are regretting that they passed on Jalen Carter. No, they're not.
They're not at all.
They don't regret passing on him.
No.
Because they don't draft guys with those types of character concerns.
No.
They don't. So like, in this case, did it work out and the Eagles got themselves a great player? It did. But they just don't do that with guys that they have questions about character on. So they don't regret it. That's their philosophy. Yep. You can criticize it if you want, but that's just what it is.
Yep.
Like, so no, Tyreek Hill, absolutely not. But people talk about Max Crosby, and it's like, this team is already expensive. Like, there's going to be like 3 people on this team. If you try to get Max Crosby, you're going to have to give up like multiple 1st-round picks. You're going to have to pay him. You're going to be paying him a huge amount of money on top of what you're paying Aiden and all these other guys. Like, it's just not going to work.
Yep.
It's just not going to work out.
Yep. Well, I agree about all the Lions stuff. Anything else to add about the Lions?
No, I'm interested to see where they go. We'll do maybe a draft episode.
Yeah.
Like when the draft rolls around, preseason kind of stuff.
I'm
interested to see where they go. Yeah, we sure. Yeah.
Our Mel Kiper Jr. mock drafts presented by the Roundtable.
Because if Decker retires, well, regardless of whether Decker retires, that's going to potentially impact things. Even if he doesn't, they probably need to address it unless they really believe Manu's going to end up being the guy.
Wait, is he supposed to retire? I guess I hadn't seen that.
I mean, he was like hurt all season and playing through a shoulder injury the entire season. And like, from interviews with him, it sort of sounded like, and I mean, he had just finished a pretty frustrating season, like with being injured the whole time. So maybe it was just a matter of he was frustrated in the moment, right?
Okay.
But there's been conversation about his retirement anyway. So, but even if he doesn't, like, he's another guy where there's not going to be that much time left, you would think. So,
yeah,
they're going to have to address that. And they're not picking. I mean, I know they had a mediocre year, but they're not picking that high, like 17 or something. So, if you want to get like a good tackle, you're not in the range for that. And like maybe a project guy, but a first round project guy, which has its own risks, but maybe someone. And then I'm curious what they do. Like, do they finally draft another edge rusher, or like bring someone in like a Trey Hendrickson, or someone who maybe will be a free agent? The Bengals apparently just really want to make sure Hendrickson's life is terrible. Like, apparently they're going to franchise tag him. Like, they just really,
they hate him.
They just, like, the Bengals hate Trey Hendrickson. They just truly do. They just want Trey Hendrickson to be absolutely miserable. They just will not let the guy leave. They won't do anything with him. Like, they're just the worst, man. Like, the Lions have their issues, but like, imagine having to cheer for like being committed to a team, and it's the Bengals front office or in the organization,
or the Browns,
ownership.
Like, or the Browns.
The Browns are bad, but like the Browns are just kind of incompetent, seemingly. Whereas like the Bengals seem like malicious. Like Mike Brown like seems like, in his family seem genuinely like they just hate their players and just refuse. It seems malicious with the Bengals ownership. Whereas with the Browns ownership, it's just like they're just incompetent. It's just like I don't know.
Good stuff. All right. Anything else about the NFL before we wrap up here? Anything we're missing? I don't want to say it's been a good season. Honestly, it has been a weird season. I really do think this has been one of the weirdest seasons. You and I talked about this. It felt like anybody could beat anybody. There was no real standout. I mean, even the Seahawks with their Legion of Black, what are we calling them? Legion of Gloom? I don't know what they're calling their defense now. The Black Door. Like the even then, like it wasn't even really, I don't know, man. It felt weird. Like there was weeks where it was just like we're watching the Jags, like, oh man, the Jags are going to make the playoffs and they're going to be awesome. And then, you know, the downfall of the Chiefs, but everybody is like, can beat any, it felt very weird. And I mean, I guess that's what the NFL wants, right? They want parity. They want you to watch all the games all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm looking forward to next year, but also I'm really looking forward to the off season where I don't have to necessarily follow 25 different storylines for each week.
It's going to be a lot of storylines this year because I mean there were so many head coaches changes and big ones, right?
True.
Like, you know, Mike Tomlin,
Sean McDermott,
John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm. Well, he already got hired, but yeah.
He did, but, you know, big changes, like guys moving to new teams and different stuff, right? So it's just a lot of big changes that'll be going on. There's some other Lion stuff, like personnel stuff and decisions we can talk about in a future episode. What will they do with Alex Anzalone? What's going to happen there? What do you do with Brian Branch with a torn Achilles, going into his extension season? You know, there's a lot of kind of questions there, like roster building questions. We'll have to see. So, yeah, but in terms of the big stuff, I think that's the main we wanted to talk about. But yeah, after the draft or leading up to that, we'll have another conversation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to the rest of our football break, I guess. We've got a March Madness bracket coming up here with Lux and the Roundtable. We'll be inviting you in. We got to have some conversation about that. There are a couple of ideas that we can go through. We've also got Wonder Man to watch, which, are you going to watch Wonder Man?
Yes, I will watch Wonder Man.
He begrudgingly says yes. We've got
at this point, anything MCU is begrudgingly. So
I agree. I 100% agree. But I have been told by 3 people that I respect and I love that have said, watch it. It's very good. And when at least one of those persons says, well, go watch something, I do. And then the other 2, okay, when they come and tell me like, hey, you should watch this. Okay, great. I respect you enough to go watch this. Also, we've got book club. We're reading Catch-22. We've got some other things. We've got maybe Mistborn coming as well. We'll talk through what that's going to look like. Mistborn
in March.
Yep. Look at that. Mistborn March Madness. That's good. That's real good. We did it. We alliterated. Until then, thanks for joining us on the Roundtable for Templar. I'm Chino. We'll talk to you next time. We love you. Goodbye.